How good is your breathing vocabulary? Let's test you. What's this called? Inhale. And this? Exhale. And what about this? Hold your breath. And this? Sigh. And this? Sniff. And this? Blow. And this? Suck. And this? Burp. And when you have a stuffy nose and you to blow your nose. What's this called? A nose. And this? A chin. What about this? A neck. What's this called? A chest. And this? It's not a stomach, it's a fanny pack, or in the UK, a bum bag. What do you think? Is this disgusting? Is it funny? Or a little of both? What are these called? Scissors. And these? Glasses. And they go in a glasses case. What's this called? A wallet. Or do you know a different word? A billfold. What's this called? A battery. What's the name of this? A box. What's this? A cap or a baseball cap. And what about this? Where you can listen to music? A speaker. What's this called? A step. And this? A tray. What about this? A box. How do you say this? A stool. And this? A shelf. What's this called? A hanger. And this? A sponge. Do you know these 5 verbs that start with the letter P? How do you say this? Punch. And this? Pet. This? Push. This? Poke. And this? Pinch. What's this called? A cane. And this? A wheelchair. What's the name of this? A bandage. What are these called? Crutches. How do you say this? A cast. And what about this? A brace. What's this called? A band-aid, or in the UK, a plaster. And this? A sling. What's this called? A smoke detector. What's this called? A ladder, not stairs. What's the name of this? A switch. What's this called? A chandelier. What's this called? A bench. What do we call this? A curtain. And what do you call this type of door? A sliding glass door. And what's this called? A balcony. Can you guess these 10 colors that are missing some letters? The last one is impossible. Let's go. Let's start easy. Blue, yellow, and this? Orange. What about this one? Gray, and this? White. Beige. Turquoise. It's getting difficult. Violet. Magenta, and the impossible one? Chartreuse. Whew. What's this called? A megaphone. And this? A light bulb. How do you say this? A diamond. What's this called? An alarm clock. And this one? A snowflake. And this last one? Flashlight in North America and a torch if you're in the UK. What's this called? A tailpipe or exhaust pipe. What's the name of this? A door handle. How do you say this? A dashboard. And this? A windshield. How do you say this? Headlight. What's the name of this? Glove compartment or glove box. What's the name of this? Pedals. And lastly, this? Headrest. What's this? A taxi, or in the States we call it a cab. What's this? An ambulance. What's this? A bike or a bicycle. What's this? A car. And now for a couple of difficult ones. What's this? Hot air balloon. And finally, my favorite, what's this? Skateboard. When you need some help doing something, you ask someone for a favor. A landscape with a lot of trees is called a forest. The money that you pay for a service is called a fee. In the Star Wars movies, what is it that unites all of us? The Force. A tiny bug that lives on cats and dogs? A flea. And finally, my favorite four-letter F word? No, not that. Free. Can you tell me an animal that starts with the letter P? Tell me a country that starts with the letter U. A city that starts with the letter A. A sport that starts with the letter B. A name that starts with the letter L. An object that starts with the letter R. An article of clothing that starts with the letter S. A part of the body that starts with the letter E. How'd you do? What's this called? A hat. And this? A bandana. What's the name of this? A vest. Or in British English, a waistcoat. What's this called? A belt buckle. What's this called? A boot. And lastly, what's this called? A finger.
Did I get you?
What has 4 wheels and goes vroom vroom? A car. People drink coffee from a cup. In school, you study in a classroom. My mom's nephew is my cousin. What kind of money jiggles? Coins. It's a verb that means to be able to. Can. A person who works with wood is called a carpenter. If you don't want to stain a surface with your drink, you'd better use a coaster. The edge of a sidewalk is called a curb. How'd you do? Every day you are getting better and better.
Hey, whoa, too close. Well, thank you for watching my video, and if you liked it, please consider liking and subscribing. Or is it subscribing and liking? I can never remember, but you are clever. You can figure it out. Okay, well, thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you here at Chameleon English. Bye-bye.